Welcome to the Site demonstration video. My name is Mac McKagan. I'll be your estimator. Let's go ahead and start a simple line item bid with item 1. Strip topsoil. And that's going to be by the cubic yard. And there's 2,345. Item 2 might be parking lot stone. And to demonstrate our worksheets, I'm going to put that in by the square foot right now, 34,567. And item 3 is 12-inch HDPE, and that's by the lineal foot, and there's 890. I've now got 3 simple line items. Let's begin with the first one on tab 1, being stripping topsoil. With a D6 dozer, I'm going to push 650 cubic yards a day. That shows me that I can do that in 3.6 days. Let's override that and say 4 days. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to change that to my 8-hour day to a 9-hour day. I can do it on the individual sheets, or I can go to our central database, which gives me control over almost all the major functions of the workbook. I will talk to you later about this, and change my hours to 9 hours a day. Now come over here for my labor description. Well, who am I taking? I'm going to take a foreman, but he's not going to be there the whole time, so I'm going to put a quarter of his time there. I'm going to take an operator 1, I'm going to take one of those, and I'm going to take a laborer 1, and I'm going to take one of those. Okay, I'm going to take out there a D6, one of those, and I'm going to also put in some silt fence with the laborer. And that's going to be by the roll. And the quantity is going to be 3, and the cost is $45 a roll. That tells me I can strip that topsoil for $2.91 a yard, or $68.23, of which 34 is labor and 32 is equipment. I've got 32 straight time hours, 4 overtime hours, making 81 man hours, 36 equipment hours. I've got a projected profit of $390 with a net cost of $2.73 a cubic yard. Next item. Parking lot stone. Remember I said I was going to do this in the square feet to show a worksheet? Well, the worksheet's right here. If I have an area in square feet of 34,567, and inches thick of say 8 inches, no waste, but I do 1.9 tons per cubic yard, I find that that gives me 853.5 cubic yards of crusher run, or 1,621.7 tons. Okay, now that I know I have 1,621 ton, I might come back over here and say I actually want to work with this for 1,622. Now I come back to my sheet and you can see it's been turned to 1,622. My daily output's easier. I can say I'm going to put down 700 ton a day. That gives me 2.3 days. Well, with traffic and all, maybe I'd better allow for 3 full days. And I'm going to have 2 operators and a laborer on this particular project. The foreman is going to come out and he's going to be there 25% of the time. Now I'm going to put a D5 on this, 1 machine. I'm going to put a roller on it, 1 machine. And now I have to deliver that stone. So this is going to be my trucking, and that's going to be by the hour. And I have $72 an hour. The quantity is the same as I had on my equipment, or 27 hours. And the number of items, let's say I used 4 trucks. $7,776, marked up 5% for overhead. I can change that to 0 with no markup. I still have a 5% profit markup on that. What I find is my unit cost for that stone is $26.31 a ton for $42,674, or $3,700 labor, 35 equipment, 81 subcontractor, and 27 materials. My net cost is $23.48. Come down to my last item, my 12-inch HDPE. My daily output's going to be 225 feet a day. I've got 4 days. I'm going to leave that. I have 2 operators and 2 laborers. The foreman came out quarter of the time. And I have the Cat 320, and I have one of those. And I have a loader. And I have one of those. Now I look down here at my worksheet, and I have a pipe worksheet. The depth of my trench is 5 feet. The width is 2.5 feet. My pipe diameter is 12 inches. I've got bedding 6 inches under and a foot above, which is 2.5 feet. And I'm going to put dirt for 2.5 feet back. Gives me 412 yards of excavation, 206 yards of bedding, less 25 for the pipe void would be 180. That gives me, at times 1.7 tons per yard, would give me 306 tons of bedding. The bedding comes across at $14 a ton for $42.84. I have 12-inch HDPE, and that's going to be $4.45 a foot. That comes to a grand total of $24.90 for my bid, or $22,161, of which $63.64 is labor, $62 is equipment, $95 is materials. I've got a projected profit of $1,500, and I've completed my bid. Now let's look at the end here. I have a site summary, which tells me my totals. I've got 322 man hours, 162 equipment hours. I've got a $71,000 bid, of which $4,900 is profit. It gives me my individual line item breakdowns. It gives me a set of materials, anything that I wrote down in my miscellaneous materials. My flat work is summarized. My pipe work is summarized, and I end up with a quote letter. Because it's a generic 25 item bid, I'm simply going to delete the unused line items, and if I go to my print preview, I now see that I have a quote letter to send out to my client for $71,659. I can also take this and move or copy, create a copy, move to the end, and I'm going to delete these and make this equal this. And what it does is it gives me a line item sheet that doesn't have any prices that they can pick apart. Again, I go back to my letter. I have a quote sheet. I have a summary and the ability to change my rates. Say this was a state rate job and suddenly I found I needed 45 on this and 39 on this and 52 on this. I now look, and on each one of my items I've been given the appropriate raise, and my job is now $80,000. We can show you how to do this in 100 item bids with line items for 4 different groupings and up to 100 items in different categories. Just give us a call and we'd be happy to show you what we can do. Thanks for your time.